Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Blue Marble Science in a live stream that's dedicated to our buddy Anthony Riley. You know, I've about had enough of that guy. So I got a good idea. Since he's clearly clueless when it comes to Cavendish, let's see if we can educate that fool just a little bit. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hey, Bert Rickles, John Hanson, good to see you. Joe King, Larry, what's going on, buddy? Rosowski, Dave N, Larry, already said Larry. Evan Waterman, JSS Tiger, Mr. Andret. There's a lot of people here. Thank you so much for showing up. Dart, what's going on, man? Evan, hey, man. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with what's going on lately. Riley has reared his typical stupid and ugly head yet again and basically confessed that he's been one of the ones behind this nonsense with that crazy John D. Sort of a Cavendish, but not even close stuff that came up on Randy's channel about, I don't know, 8 months ago or so, which failed predictably as we told them it would. No big surprise there. Now Riley's trying to pick on my Cavendish. Now, if you guys haven't seen what the so-called Dr. John D came up with, he managed to build a torsion balance that had no torsion element in it. That was hilarious. I don't know how the hell these guys come up with these ideas. But they basically had a point contact rotation point up at the top. The torsion wire never experienced any torsion. And Riley's all confused about why the thing just wandered all over the place. Really? No joke, Anthony. There was never anything to stop it. Once it got started, all you need is a little disturbing force. And once you get it started moving, there's nothing to stop it. There's no restoring force. Unless you have a torsion element, you don't have a horizontal pendulum. And that's what a torsion balance is. It is a horizontal pendulum. So Riley claims that I must be hiding things. I'm having the same problems he's having. I want you guys to pay attention to what's on the screen right now. You see the Cavendish setup. You can see the large masses, better known as Blue's big balls, that are sitting in a neutral position. They're midway between the small balls that are inside that enclosure. So there's no torque on the torsion wire at the moment. Watch the laser dot. We've had this stream running for a while, for a few minutes now. I put the white circle around the laser dot just so that everyone can keep track of where the damn thing was. Now this is this beryllium copper wire that I was not too happy with. I'm still not happy with. This thing drifts, but Riley doesn't understand what drift means. He has no idea what I'm talking about when I tell him, or tell you guys, that this wire drifts too much. If we watch this over time, this thing is going to drift from, I don't know where it's sitting right now, maybe 190 millimeters or something like that. It may drift upscale to 200 millimeters and then drift back down to 190, 185 and back up again to 205. But keep in mind that when you're looking at that laser dot, you're looking at the actual movement of the torsion balance multiplied by a factor of 10. So when it looks like the laser dot moved 10 millimeters, the torsion balance only moved 1 millimeter. This is not erratic, but it's unstable enough that we can't use this to collect analytical data to determine the value of G. That's the reason that I'm going to change this thing out. I'm going to change the beryllium copper wire out for a steel wire that is more stable than this is. Realize it takes, an hour to an hour and a half to get any decent data once you move these large masses from one position to another. And if in that time the wire decides to, on its own, just because of drift upscale or downscale, whatever amount it drifts is going to be added to or subtracted from the resting point that you're trying to measure. So that's the problem. It's not that we can't demonstrate gravitational attraction. We can easily do that, and we're going to in a minute, Riley. Pay attention. We're really going to do that. We're going to show you why this little bit of drift has nothing at all to do with the ability to demonstrate that mass attracts mass. What it does is wreck the damn accuracy of a measurement when you're trying to actually figure out what G is. So, after that diatribe, hopefully everybody understands what I'm up to. Oh boy, 40 concurrent viewers. Let's see. I wonder if I'm in Discord right now. Yeah, let's see. Should be. So anybody that wants to join the server, certainly feel free to do so. Let me see if I can get a link here. Let's see. Working on it. Here we go. There's a link to the Discord if anybody wants to jump in and chat with me. You guys give me a second. I need to take a pause for the calls. I'll be right back. Should have asked, is the audio okay? Can you guys hear me? got a cup of coffee brewing in there. Audio's okay, good, great. Something's going right, I guess. Well, let's see, we've been streaming live for about 14 minutes now, and the laser has drifted downscale about 3 millimeters, which means that the actual torsion bar drifted down about 0.3 millimeters. Riley, pay attention, boy. This is what drift looks like. It's not radical, it's not extreme, it's just annoying. It's just enough to make actual measurements impractical. Holy cow, JSS Tiger, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate that. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, looks good. 50 people watching. Thanks so much for showing up, folks. This is the shove it up the Riley backside stream that I'm doing tonight. I've about had enough of that guy. He builds some bullshit backyard contraption that doesn't resemble a torsion balance. It might physically look a little bit like Cavendish, but it's nothing like Cavendish. And then he has the temerity to take me to task and try to tell me I don't know what I'm doing. Excuse me? Riley, this is how a torsion balance operates. And the drift I talked about in that comment I put in the community section of my channel was talking about this level of drift. Do you see this? I have done nothing, but it is moving 2 or 3 millimeters. And it's doing that over the course of 15 minutes. What if it does 10 millimeters over the course of an hour and a half? Or 20 millimeters for that matter, which is only 2/10 of 2 millimeters in the real world when you get down there and actually look at the balance. There's a 10-to-1 multiplication factor going on here. That is way more than you need to absolutely destroy any accuracy if you're trying to compute the value of G. But I'm going to show you in a minute, Riley, that gravity, the gravitational attraction, the force of the gravitational attraction is goddamn real. You're going to see it right here, live and in person. Wish you were awake right now. I don't think you are. Caliban says a little hum, huh? Well, that might be the air conditioning system over here. Can't do much about that. Hello, Dora. How are you this evening? Hello, Brenda. Good to see you. See if we can make you turn blue here. Hey, it's 1:20 a.m. in the UK. Hey, go wake Riley up. Tell him to get his ass on here. Don't want to talk to him. Urto says, is this what they mean by blue ball science? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Evan Waterman says I shouldn't be irritated by an idiot. I'm really not. Uh, he's more of an amusement to me. I don't understand how anybody can be that fundamentally backward when it comes to anything to do with engineering or physics, and yet be so damn confident in everything he says. That's just astounding. Matt261102 says, have to remember Riley genuinely believes he's smarter than Newton and Einstein. You know, you're absolutely correct. Matt, you're right. He absolutely does. And that's such a curiosity to me. Oops, sorry about that. Banging the mic. This microphone sucks, and I know it does. Sorry about that, but I've not spent much money on this computer system out here in the shop. Royal Kenny says, silly question, but the wood, can the result be altered due to the temperature change and slight expansion and movement in the construction? Really not. And I'll tell you why. Because this torsion balance is just simply hanging from that enclosure. So whether it grows in height or shrinks in height or grows in width or shrinks in width, it really doesn't change anything about the measurements. So that is not really a concern. Of course, it is doing that. It's made out of wood. We know that. I can tell you that thing is probably changed in size by maybe a 1/16 of an inch in any particular direction. Well, primarily across the grain. Wood doesn't grow in the direction, grow or shrink in the direction of the grain particularly, but it will grow and shrink across the grain depending on the moisture content. So let's see. I saw, hey, Clive Wells, good to see you, man. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. So what are we doing? Well, I'm responding to a video that Sleeping Warrior put out a few hours ago, where he effectively has accused me of trying to cover up the instability of this apparatus. Now, keep in mind that until a day ago, no one knew what had ever happened to the John D apparatus that was announced on Randy Flat Earth's show back in July last year, when they were going to build one of these things and show us that gravity was not a thing. And they were supposed to follow up with live streams and all of their observations and measurements, and nothing ever happened. Not a thing. Nobody ever heard a word about it. Now all of a sudden Riley has come forward and said, oh, we couldn't get our thing to work. Well, no shit, Riley. We told you why it wouldn't work too. I told you that. I told you guys that in Randy's comment section that day and sent him an email saying the same thing. Now, you guys are the ones that have been sweeping stuff under the rug. What I suspect is you actually did see movement as a result of gravitational attraction, and you don't want to show it. That's what I think. Yes, I can't figure out how to pronounce your name, Donna, but you're right. Sleepy doesn't believe the torsion scale can stabilize. Well, I'll tell you what. You've been looking at. If you want to go back, how long have we been streaming now? If you want to go back 24 minutes, that red dot's moved a total of maybe two or 3 millimeters. Uh, Mr. Riley is absolutely wrong. And this torsion balance right now is sitting in a neutral position. You can see that on the video I'm showing. The large lead balls are in a neutral position. They're just outside. They're just centered on the case, so they're equal distance away from the small balls that are inside the enclosure. Let's see, what else could Riley come up with? It's not really live. I'll tell you what. Let me go put my hand on it. See that, Riley? That's me touching the lead ball. Got it? This is actually live. Look at the clock. Don't know if you guys can hear me over there screaming at the Cavendish. All right, so 62 people watching. Terrific. Thanks so much. Just give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It doesn't matter. Either one will work. I would appreciate it. Feral Cat, hello. How are you doing? And Secret G, good to see you. Try to make everybody turn blue here, but I may not. If I miss you, it's I'm just distracted with trying to keep an eye on everything. That's a pretty stable torsion balance. Would you not agree with that? Anyone disagree with that? Tell me. For 23 minutes, that friggin' thing has been sitting right where it is. I'll tell you what, let's let it go another 15 or 20 minutes, and then we're going to move those big old lead balls and see what the hell happens. How about that? And I'm going to go fix my coffee. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, Clive, let's try it. I want everyone, okay, on the count of three. On the count of three, everybody jump up and let's see if we can make this thing move. Are you ready? Here we go. One.
Back to, what are you doing?
Wait, you got to jump, John, okay? On the count of three, we're going to try to make the torsion balance move. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Shit. Don't see anything. You guys didn't jump high enough.
All right. You ready?
Let's see. You hearing me okay, John? Let me see if I got everything set right. Hang on.
Still was quite sweet or stinky.
Here we go. Hear me now, John?
Yeah.
Okay, good. The question is, I'm probably echoing because I'm through Discord too. Let me turn the mic off in Discord. I mean the mic off in OBS. Hold on a sec. Say something, John.
Hello. Hello.
There we go. Got you going in OBS. Let me turn. I'm gonna have to leave the mic on that way. I think that'll work. Oops. So, okay. Can you guys hear me and John now?
I'm still. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I've still got an echo from you somehow.
Do you? Well, you probably do because I don't have any headphones out here. I have to hear you through my speakers. So I'll turn that down as much as I can. This is not the best YouTube setup in the world for sure. Wow, it's great to see all you guys out there. 63 people watching. Holy cow.
So have you put the steel wire back in?
Huh?
Did you put this? Have you changed out the beryllium with the steel wire?
No, this is still the beryllium wire. To bring you up to speed, our friend Mr. Riley put out a video 3 or 4 hours ago accusing me of hiding the instability of this experiment that caused him to abandon his attempt. And that riled me up a little bit. Now, this is a torsion wire that I consider unusable for the purpose of making actual measurements of the gravitational constant. This is a wire that I consider to be unstable, and I'm going to change it out because of that. But I thought, what the hell, this is unstable to me. I'll just go live and we'll take a look at what Blue thinks unstable looks like. This is it. Okay? We've been watching this thing now. I've been live for 34 minutes. That thing has not moved more than 2 millimeters in 34 minutes. I think that's fairly stable. What do you think?
That's not bad.
No, I'll tell you what Riley did. They built that goofy thing that I showed in my latest video, where they've got the screw at the top sitting on a piece of glass. It's not a torsion balance at all. I don't know what the hell to even call it. And if anything started that thing moving, there was nothing to stop it from moving. It would have gone all the way and banged into the side of the case. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's just preposterous. Yeah, Evan Waterman says it looks like a 3 millimeter oscillation over the last 30 minutes. And Evan, I'll tell you what, here's something that Riley doesn't understand either. This thing is a horizontal pendulum, and its period of oscillation is extremely predictable. Just like the pendulum in a grandfather clock. It's going to oscillate at that same frequency, that same period, regardless. This particular torsion balance has and wire and everything that's in there right now, has a period of oscillation of, I think it's 1,390 seconds, about 23 minutes. So when you see a 30-minute period, you know that is not the normal oscillation of the pendulum. That is drift due to the internal stress in the torsion element. That's how you tell the difference. Feral Cat with a super chat of $4.99. Thank you so much. Hey Blue, if you open the garage door, what would happen and how long to recover? Well, you know what? I think what we would probably see is a 3 or 4 millimeter deflection, most likely downscale. That seems to be the way it always goes. And it might take another 20 minutes or so for it to come back to stable. But I'm not really sure. I haven't even tried it. I haven't tried that with this particular torsion wire. And if I open that door, I'm probably going to rile up the dog and Mrs. Blue, so I think I won't do that tonight. But if it's really important, we could.
Hey, Blue, I just remembered. Do you subscribe to a guy called, I think it's pronounced Veritasium?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. I certainly do. That's a good channel.
Have you seen his recent video about the harmony of oscillation? Just today, I think it was.
No, I haven't.
It's really interesting. It's kind of the you know that they get soldiers, troops of soldiers to march out of step when they go across a bridge.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But there's a sort of cutting edge kind of not completely understood science behind sort of natural oscillation, which it was really interesting. I think you would find it really interesting.
Yeah, well, everything's got a natural resonant frequency, and that's what he's talking about, I'm sure. And you have to keep that in mind. That's a situation that can become catastrophic. I think what was that bridge for Santos? I can't say the name of it. Anyway, There's a famous
Yeah, it
bridge.
was it, yeah, a bridge in the north of England,
Yeah.
um, and there was quite a. I don't think anyone died, but the bridge collapsed, and
Oh yeah.
but they had the same problem with a bridge in London a few years ago that was built. What was called a Millennium Bridge, um, and the reason behind why it started to fail, it didn't fail, but severe problems that took quite a lot of head crunching to, you know, to pin down. Um, but but yeah, definitely worth a watch. I mean, all of his stuff is worth a watch. But yeah, I thought you'd be interested in that, just in terms of your
Yeah,
obviously your.
Clive Wells has it. Tacoma Narrows Bridge. That was back in the 1940s, and that thing
Mm.
literally destroyed itself in a not so not a horrible wind, but it was a pretty steady wind, and they didn't take that into account, and that thing got into resonance and ended up just totally destroying itself. Mark,
That
uh,
was that was a bridge in that was a bridge in America that
right, right,
just had exactly the right wind speed. But the first time that um, this was discovered in terms of the need to get soldiers to march out of step, that
yeah,
was
exactly.
in the sort of mid 1800s
Oh yeah,
in England.
yeah. If they're marching
Uh,
in step with each other, it'll set up that oscillation, that resonance, and it will build on itself. Mark Beiser says, "Is that what? What are you asking about, Mark? Be a little more specific. I'm not sure what you're asking." So, uh, what's going on with our unstable? Pay attention, Riley. Does this look unstable to you? This is what I consider to be unstable. How about yours? Why aren't you showing video of your attempt? What is the problem? I'm showing you one of my unstable failures right now.
it's funny about that video you posted. I'd never seen that because I don't watch any of that stuff. I let you do it for me. But the it's like the Cavendish experiment that wasn't actually a Cavendish experiment. Um, and they went to great lengths not to mention anything about Henry Cavendish, and produced a half-assed experiment. It was better than Chris Berry's garage uh, effort, but a shambles, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you now, Mark. I understand what you're saying. No, the wood is actually sapele. Uh, if you know what paduk is, then you'll know what sapele is. It's African mahogany, and I use that simply because Cavendish built his out of mahogany, which would have been, English mahogany in those days, which I'm sure is no longer available. I don't think you can find mahogany pretty much anywhere except Africa now. There's about 5 different species of African mahogany, but this sapele is the most available, and it's really nice wood to work with. Uh, I've built I've built a lot of furniture out of it. It's good stuff. So let's see, where are we at time wise? Riley, you moron. there's 45 minutes. This thing has moved downscale about 2 or 3 millimeters. It's moved upscale now about maybe a millimeter or two. This is unstable. This is what drift looks like, Riley. Is 45 minutes good enough for you? Too bad we don't have him in the chat or here on Discord. I'd love to be talking to him right now.
So, careful what you wish for. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Donna says, this is good. Donna says, Sleepy told me your cable is wound too tightly, causing too much friction and hiding the external forces that would cause the needle to swing. What kind of bullshit is that? Hello, B-Ball. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Let me put the Discord link in the chat. Hang on. Oops, sorry. Had a minor dog emergency. My new lab assistant, whose name is Joker, had been out in the backyard and came in with a goofy looking chunk of stick that he got picked up in the yard somewhere. And Mrs. Blue could not identify what he had, so I had to go take it away from him. Anyway, back again.
I've got a dog coming in a couple of weeks.
Oh, good.
He's a 7-year-old border terrier. Friends of mine are emigrating to Australia. So they've asked us if we can, I think I think it's probably permanent. But, lovely dog.
Yeah, my animal is new to us anyway. He's a Staffordshire Terrier mixed with probably Labrador. And he was a rescue animal. He's about a little over 3 years old. And I really, I've quickly become fond of that animal. But I like dogs anyway. Hello, Lael, Ads, Sophie Robinson, all the people I'm missing. I'm sorry about that, but trying to keep an eye on too many things here. If I miss out mentioning your name, please forgive me. I see a number of people talking about the laser. I think I can adjust that thing and change the shape of it. Haven't really bothered too much. Um, I'm only trying to read the thing to plus or minus about a half a millimeter anyway, which is equivalent to the level of accuracy that Cavendish could have achieved. Got 59 people watching. Is that not amazing? Don't you guys have anything better to do? Jesus. I thought I needed to get a life.
My paint has dried. It's totally dry. So
Your paint's dry and there's no cricket matches to watch. I mean, what the hell else you gonna do, right?
cricket, what the fuck is that?
Oh,
I think I think the setup with the laser is pretty good. I mean, you could potentially do something to focus the beam, to make it, more of a pinpoint. But I think you're getting sufficiently accurate results the way it is, to be honest.
oh, I am. Yeah, I mean, you can read the bottom. The bottom of the dot, the left side, the right side. As long as you read it the same every time, does it really make any difference?
Yeah, yeah. You try to record trends, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if anyone in the chat thinks that we haven't adequately demonstrated that this torsion balance is stable. If you think it's not, if anyone thinks that this thing right now is not stable, please chime in. Let me know. We've been running. Hold on a second. My OBS says this thing has been live for 52 minutes right now. Because the next thing I want to do is upset this thing. The next thing I'm going to do is move these balls into a position, and I'm going to let you guys choose which way we go. I don't care.
West is best.
You like west? Well, so as we think about this, let me explain how we define west and east. As we're looking at that bottom left video image, we are facing west, okay? And so north is to our right. And when that ball that you see on the right hand side is away from us, I call that the west position. And when it's closest to us, I call it the east position. So that's how I've defined for this experiment east and west as the position of my balls. I guess that didn't sound too good, but okay, whatever. So we're going to move those damn things in a minute, I guess. And then we will see if Riley knows what he's talking about or not. Spoiler alert. Of course not.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Waterman says, I think it's stable, but still oscillating a bit. Yeah, it probably is. It could take a matter of weeks to get it to totally stop that oscillation. And then you would have to be absolutely sure that you don't bring anything around it that would disturb it. But think about this. I mean, if it's only moving a millimeter or a half a millimeter one side or the other of its resting point, that's fine as long as you can say, okay, the center point is here. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's where, well, one of the ways that Riley went wrong, waiting for it to completely cease motion altogether.
Well, I can tell you where Riley went wrong. He didn't build a torsion balance. I don't even know what to
Well,
call that silly thing he built. It
yes,
is not a horizontal pendulum. It has no restoring force. It can't act as a pendulum. I don't know what the hell you would ever do with that. I don't understand why they even tried it. Any small disturbance that started that thing moving, there's nothing to stop it from moving. The only thing that would stop it would be a little bit of air resistance that it's going to encounter because it's moving really slow, but it's still going to see a little bit of air resistance. And whatever friction that little pinpoint screw thing has up there at the top. That's the only thing that would stop it from moving. Of course it's going to go crazy. This is a torsion balance. If it tries to move, torque in the wire tries to pull it back to its resting point.
yeah.
61
As I
people
said,
watching. Hey, thanks for
it
showing up,
was
everybody.
better.
Sorry, John.
It, I was just saying it was better than Chris Berry's thing, but that's about it. That's all I can say. Well, I'm going to pick up that telescope mount thing probably next week. By the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So,
So the guy
well, I
uh,
think I embarrassed him slightly. It's, I gave him, I gave him your cat drawing. And he's like, oh, right, okay. uh,
oh boy.
uh, so, but he's a he's a nice guy. Lots of people up here are, they seem like really gruff and shitty, but that's just the way that we talk to each other. But he's got quite a good, an excellent actually reputation. But he's like a big ball with two arms and two legs sticking out of it. He's massive, but he's very good at what he does.
And see a few more familiar names in the chat. Hello, QED. What's going on? Toady UK. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Hello, Eric. Yep, no random fluctuations. You're right. I thought we'd let this thing go for about an hour. That sounds like a good round number. And we're at 59 minutes and 5 seconds. And that damn laser hasn't moved more than a total of 4 millimeters tops. And that means, because that is multiplying the actual motion of the torsion balance by 10, the torsion balance only moved 4/10 of a millimeter. Riley, that's pretty stable in my book. I don't give a shit what you say. So how about this? Let's take a vote. Which way do you want Blue's balls to move? You want the ball to be at the west side or the ball to be at the east side? I'll tell you what, let's do it this way. 1 for east, 2 for west. Start voting.
Fingers crossed for West.
Yeah, I don't care. Go either way. Hello, Gently's channel. What's going on, man? Sophie Robinson, good to see you. Roll Tide.
Oh, hey, well, this is going on. Hello to Toady UK from me. Haven't seen this guy for a long time. He's a UK. So hello.
There's a link to the Discord. Anybody that wants to join, feel free. I see a few ones, a lot of twos. That's west. Damn it, Dave. 3 is not an option. No, 4 is not an option either, Dave. I think 2's winning. What do you think, John?
Yeah, well, I was sure that it was a close race, but yeah,
And I
West
said,
is best.
yep, I said 2 was west, right? Well, I'll tell you what. In that case, let's move the big ball on the right to the west. Be right back. Alrighty. There we go. We'll see if gravity does anything. Keep in mind that the period of oscillation of this thing is 23 minutes. So, it'll be a moment before we see any real significant movement of that laser beam. But it will deflect it. Think about which way the balls are sitting. It's going to spin the torsion balance if we were looking down on it in a clockwise direction, which means the laser dot is going to start moving up scale. And for this particular arrangement, the deflection 50 going from neutral to just one direction like that, the deflection is going to be around 35 millimeters total on the laser. But what's going to happen is this thing is going to accelerate, and you see it's moved already. It's going to begin to accelerate, and it will overshoot that 35 millimeter point. It was sitting at around 190 millimeters. So it's going to overshoot 225 by a considerable amount. I'm thinking more like 260. and then the oscillation will commence, and it will oscillate from some point significantly above the resting point to another point below the resting point. Cavendish talked about this quite a bit, and he talked about how to analyze it. You can't just simply average one side to the other. You can't average one peak, one extreme to the next extreme. That won't give you a true reading because it is a damped oscillation. So what Cavendish would do is take a series of 3 extremes, and he would average the first extreme and the third extreme, which would be on the same side, right? So that's the high side. You get a number of 260 on one on the first extreme, and a number of 250 on the second extreme. So you average those two, and say it's 255, and then you take the second extreme, which is between those two, which is going to be on the left side of the rest point, and average that with the average of the top two, if that makes any sense. Probably not, but that's how he did it. And we can do the same thing. And what it does is prevent you from having to sit here for the period of a day and wait for this damn thing to find its resting point, because that's how long the oscillations will continue. There's very little damping involved in the system. Riley, do you see where the damn laser is? Excuse me, it sat here for a friggin' hour. Absolutely rocks steady as far as I'm concerned. That little tiny drifting movement that you saw is nothing compared to the deflection that you're seeing right now. Look at that. Pay attention, Anthony. This is gravity. Your worst nightmare just came true. I think I put everybody to sleep. Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
I knew I didn't like you for some reason. "9 o'clock hero, couldn't say it better. Absolutely. Up yours, Riley." Rozovsky's listening. You betcha.
Blue, Toady UK was asking about external influences, and I think what he meant was, how much have you measured, external masses and trucks and vibrations and stuff, and from what I can gather is that there is nothing.
I've actually done a fair amount of investigation into that, Tony. We wondered about that, especially this obvious uneven distribution of mass here in the shop area, and I sat down and with the help of Eric, who's in the chat right now, and we went through looking at mass distribution and whether that was actually going to have any effect on anything. And it didn't appear that it would or could. But just to be sure, I've got a couple of pieces of machinery around here that are portable, that are fairly massive. I've got a bandsaw that's around 150 kilograms, and I moved it from. It was originally sitting just to the far right of the experiment, as you see it in the video. I moved that bandsaw, and it's sitting behind me right now to see if it had any effect, and it really didn't. It didn't make any difference. But other things do matter. I matter. If I walk around this thing and get close to it and spend any length of time at all close to it, I'll have an effect on it. We've seen that just the opening and closing of that overhead garage door has an effect, and those are the two main things that I've been able to identify as random sources of error that we have to be careful of. But it's really simple. All you do is don't open the damn door, and I go inside and watch this thing on a unlisted YouTube feed. So, can it have an effect? Absolutely, absolutely. The thing that's the hardest to deal with is, or the most random thing to deal with is the fact that there's a room above this garage. And if you've been hearing some thumpity thump going on, that's that crazy dog of mine up there tap dancing. So, you know, if Mrs. Blue's up there moving around or whatever, we can certainly see some effect just of having a person up there that's not neutral, in a neutral position to the experiment down here, causing things to move slightly. But the effect is not great. It's not a huge amount of deflection. But I'll tell you too that's the reason why you see a lot of my videos are being done at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's because everybody's in bed and asleep and not moving around. Ideally, what I'd love to have is a 100-foot by 100-foot building with this thing sitting right in the middle of it and nothing anywhere near it. That would be perfect. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those buildings, so there you go.
Good. A
Hey,
wild man has just
Hmm?
joined Discord.
Who?
Dave Cannabis.
Yeah, he's muted right now, Dave. Well, yeah, he's muted. Riley, you nitwit. This thing sat at 190 millimeters for an hour. I moved the large balls into the west position, and 10 minutes later, that spot has moved 60 millimeters to the right. Don't friggin' tell me again that gravity is not a force. You're an idiot. There, I feel better. Let's see, Mr. Andrew. Let me see if I can give you an idea. I moved the balls about 12 minutes ago. something like that. I'm not paying a hell of a lot of attention to it. I knew what it was going to do. I haven't really been watching it, but half a period of oscillation is about 11.5 minutes. I think 1,390 seconds. Let me look here. Yeah, that looks right. Almost 12 minutes. Almost very close to 12 minutes. So let's see if we moved it. Has this thing started back down scale yet? I'm sure it probably did. I should put one of these clever little gizmos. It was up here somewhere. I'll just put it where it is right now. There we go. Put a green circle around it for the moment. It's already started back down. Lonnie Hodge says something very true. Convincing a fanatic is like beating your head against a titanium wall. It just causes a headache and possible brain damage. Very true, sir.
Hey Blue, Tori UK's got another question asking about I think referring to the grounding that you've done.
Let's see
You
what.
know, you've like lined the inside of the case and you've grounded balls and stuff. If you go through that again, I think that's what he was asking about.
Yeah. When because Cavendish never talked about electrostatic influence, and this being a pretty much as best I could do it, faithful reproduction of his apparatus. I didn't consider that static electricity was going to ever be an issue here. What I didn't consider is the fact that Cavendish actually uh, had his device. If you look at the drawings, and that's all I've got to go by, but if you look at the drawings, looks like he had it sitting on some wooden posts that were just directly buried into the ground. Now, in that day and time, I doubt, and because it's just simply an experiment, I doubt Cavendish put any kind of finish on his enclosure or anything like that. So, all of that wood would have retained a fair level of moisture content, and especially being in the environment it was in. So I don't think he ever had to have any issue, would have had any issue with static electricity. But over time, I started noticing that I was getting some erratic action out of this thing. And after doing a little bit of investigation, I figured out that I could put like aluminum foil over parts of the wooden enclosure and change the deflection. Well, what's that telling you? Well, obviously, there's some surface charge being built up on the wood. I finished this thing with tung oil, And I think what happened is over time, the tung oil finish dried out. The surface resistance of that stuff became pretty high. And inadvertently, I don't have it sitting on wooden posts that are in the ground. I've got it sitting on a wooden table, which has leveling feet under it, which have felt pads on the bottom of them. So I, not even thinking about it, I made I made a really perfect insulation system, and that wooden cabinet was actually developing a surface charge. And at one point, I could absolutely prove that mass repels mass. It was the wildest thing you could think of. So I thought, well, we got to figure out what's happening. So I took it apart. I got some copper foil that has conductive adhesive on the back of it, the stuff they use to line the cavity inside an electric guitar body, for instance, and shield it against static, against electromagnetic pickup. But again, it's a good static shield too. So as soon as I lined the case and grounded everything properly, in other words, both the large lead balls and of course the little ones inside are grounded through all the wiring, the piano wire that's built into the system. As soon as all that grounding was taken care of, and I put a ground rod outside, just outside the shop here, 8-foot ground rod directly down into the earth. All of those static problems went away. So uh, that was an adventure. It was something I really wasn't counting on having to do. I never really thought it was going to be an issue, but it turned out to be one. Uh, the other thing that concerned me, Cavendish started out with lead balls and steel hanger rods, and he decided that he would um, just to be on the safe side, change out the steel hanger rods for brass rods. So I started the same way and did the same thing he did. I ended up changing the hanger rod, the 3/8 inch hanger rods for the large lead balls from steel rods to brass rods. So nothing in the system is magnetic anymore, and it's got static uh, shielding built into it. And now it works just fine. Now Riley, on the other hand, built his out of clear acrylic. His case is nice and transparent, and that's all fine for looking at stuff. But keep in mind that I can't think of anything that would hold a static charge any better than a piece of clear acrylic. If he's not having static electric problems, I don't know why he's not having them. You almost have to. Tell you what, Riley, do this. Grab the neighborhood cat and rub it against that damn plastic box, and I'll bet you build up enough static charge to arc weld boilerplate. Jesus.
I believe there was Toady UK. It's a shame because it's quite late in the UK. I think he's in the UK, and
Yeah, he is.
he doesn't want to. I don't think he wants to join because it'll probably just end up in him not getting any sleep at all. Um, but it's a common question that you probably answered lots of times. Um, why not use different materials in place of lead for the balls to you know to to sort
Oh
of
yeah, yeah, sure,
test against.
sure.
So I mean, I know you've got an answer for it, but
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm going to try that when I get finished with all of the other testing that I wanted to do. I fully intend to try some different materials. Um, but we're actually trying to get usable. I'm trying to get usable measurements here, and uh, for the value of the gravitational constant. So you need decent amounts of deflection to get that. But and the problem with other materials, like even what we think of as dense, heavy stuff, like concrete. Well, hell, that's lead has a specific gravity of close to 12, I think. Concrete's got a specific gravity of 2. So even things we think of as being heavy are not anywhere near as dense as the lead is. Uh, so we got to be careful. If we want to try other things, that's fine. Uh, but it's got to be something that's got enough density that will be able to develop enough gravitational attraction to be able to actually show it, to be able to actually see the deflection in the torsion balance, like you're seeing right now. Edison Carter, thank you, sir. I will. I'll put a marker down there around 200. We'll do that. So the bottom is around here somewhere. And the top, I think, was up here around 250. But let's just see where it goes this time. And Donna, that's right. The balls would need to be 6 times as large. And the problem with that is not only do they need to be 6 times as large, you don't get 6 times the effect for it simply because you're moving the center of it further away from the other mass. And that decreases the gravitational attraction by the inverse of the square of the distance. So, here's the deal. Think about this. I've got exactly in what's in this thing right now has exactly the same mass for those small balls that Cavendish used, identically. The big ones that I'm using are 22 kilograms. The ones Cavendish used were 150 kilograms. Huge, huge difference. But Cavendish didn't get 7 times as much attractive force as I get. He only got about 2.5 times as much. And the reason was these 22 kilogram balls are 6 inches in diameter, but his 150 kilogram ones were 12 inches in diameter. And as you move them away, that force is dropping off by the square of the distance. That's the issue. Generally Shady, sir, thank you so much. $2 super chat. Good man. Toady UK says Cavendish didn't have a laser. Yeah, no. He had a scale just like that down there on the bottom right. And I could use that too. I don't have to have the laser. I could use the scale just like he did. It's very readable. The laser's a hell of a lot easier to read.
I hope
That's
you
all.
don't.
Huh?
I, I hope you don't mind, Blue. I said to Tony that your Cavendish stuff is not scheduled, but whenever you're on, if Tony UK wanted to join just to ask you some questions and whatever, he's free to do so. Hope that was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an inquisitive guy. If I remember, he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been knowing Toady for quite a while now. Mark Beiser, hello, sir. Yeah, you're right. If we used osmium or iridium, yeah, we could. Uh, depleted uranium. There's a lot of things that are much more dense than lead is. The issue is cost. Lead is cheap. I've got a total of about $400, I think, in the lead in this thing. When you start talking about uh, 50 kilograms of iridium or osmium or depleted uranium, you're not talking about $400 anymore. You might not even be talking about $4,000. And then there's the problem of turning it into a sphere. Tungsten's very dense material, but Jesus, I mean, you need something roughly as hot as the sun to melt it. That's another cool thing about lead. It's cheap, it's readily available, but it melts at a very low temperature. You can literally melt it on your kitchen stove. JSS Tiger points out that mention the word gold, and believe me, I put out an impassioned plea to all of my subs and family members to think seriously about donating 44 kilograms of gold to this project. I can't imagine why, but nobody stepped up. Hold the fort down, John. I'll be back in a second.
Holy shit. Well, he says that, but we've got this guy Dave Cannabis who hasn't said anything. Do you want to say something, Dave? I've heard of a guy called Dave Cannabis. And if you are that man, I'd very much like to speak to you. Oh, who's back?
I'm back.
Yeah, I was just trying to encourage Dave to say something, but
Is he still
he's
muted?
yeah,
Still,
yeah.
still deafened? Type something in the chat and tell him to undeafen himself.
Oh, I think if he is who I think he is deliberately self-muted. Anyway.
I'm just watching the balance as it goes up toward the peak here. So we're at 246, 247 at the moment. Let's see where it's going to top out at. Probably getting close. I'm not watching the time. You can actually do this by time. The thing is that repeatable, but it should be. I mean, it's a pendulum. Just like the grandfather clock I got sitting in the den in there. It's going to tick away no matter what you do to it. I think that's about it. It looks like about 246. Yep. Starting back down now. And if the bottom was around 200, then let's just take the average of those numbers. That's around 223. And let's subtract from that where we started, which was about 187. And that's about 36 millimeters. So I said it was going to be around 70, I think. Something like that. I don't know what that would amount to. I'd have to do the calculations. I don't have all that stuff out here on this computer. So, Mr. Riley, that uncomfortable feeling you have in the seat of your pants right now is my foot up your ass.
Hey, don't knock it.
Well, let's see, who have I been missing here? I haven't been watching the chat very closely. Evan Waterman said, "Don't hold back." Dart says size 12 boot. Steel toed, I might add. I don't know how to make it any more obvious that there is a predictable and very dramatic attraction
Hey, Blue.
of one mass to another. Yeah, go ahead.
Shady, how are you?
Hey, Shady.
I was going to ask a couple of the people in chat were saying about they live in Scotland. I was going to wonder if they had gone to the Flat Earth shop yet.
Gone to the Flat Earth what?
Shop. I sent you those pictures, didn't I, Blue? No?
Oh, wait.
There's a Flat Earth shop in, oh bugger. I can't think of the name of the town.
You're shitting me. Is it in like Edinburgh or Glasgow? Or...
I might have DM'd it to you, Blue. I'm just going back through my stuff and I'll have a look.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I sent it to you. It's in our DM chat if you wanna. Oh, actually, I'll dig it up and I'll post it in here for everyone.
Yeah, stick it in.
Holy moly!
Yeah, stick it in here or in Discord. Stick it in the
Live chat.
live chat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a good place.
Yeah,
for
they've got a Flat Earth shop. It's been around for a few years now too. Pictures coming. I'll just put one up for now. It's in oh, God damn it. I can't think of the name of the place. I got the address and everything, and Colin has actually got a photo of himself outside the place. But it's still running. There's no website, but it's still running. We've checked on that. So, but yes, a Flat Earth shop. Still loading. It's a large file. About 5 seconds. But I didn't believe anyone would be that stupid. And it has to have all the anti-mask and anti-vax on the windows too, of course. There you go, it's loaded. It's a high quality pic too, so you can actually zoom in and read what they've got up there. I thought we could go and globe smack the shop. Do a Nathan and go and harass everyone. Take flyers and stand across the road and scream at them. The water does curve. You see it?
Jesus Christ, any guy that ever peed on a campfire knows water curves. What the hell? Yeah,
really intelligent. But a flat Earth shop. What would they sell? Can you bottle stupidity? Oh, I guess they'd find a way.
Who in the hell goes to that shop?
We all know the answer to that question.
Where the hell? Where is that?
Oh, I forget where it's at. Hang on, I'll go back and find out where it is. Sent it to. There we go. Inverness. Number 2 Grieg Street, Inverness, in Scotland.
We'll send the boys round.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it'd be quite funny to get a few people together with some flyers and go into the globe smack out the front and do a video of it. That'd be freaking legendary. Water does go. What else has he come up with? Space is real. Gravity is a thing.
I actually know a whole load of crazy guys up there that would be only too happy to do that. So.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. That would break the debunking community if you sent a bunch of people around there.
That'd be hilarious.
Globe smacked them. That would break the fucking debunking community. Can you imagine?
Yeah, you can't have stupid without a container.
Yeah. 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 And we've just proven the container. It's at number 2 Grieg Street, Inverness.
That is a fact.
Yeah, I would be in to try and organise something like that. That would go down as a legend in debunking history, I think. The only other one I've thought about, which I reckon would be funny, is I said to Blue once, do a globe smack thing along the lines of a Benny Hill outro. And have everyone running around. Oh, yeah, that'd be brilliant. Yes, I didn't believe someone sent that. They found me and emailed me. I posted my email on Simon Dan's side or one of the chats, asking about something and if anyone had any info, send me. And this guy just emailed me out of the blue and said, "Check this out." And I couldn't believe it. And we got chatting, and he lives or worked down that street or something. He went past it and had to go back and take the photos. So I hooked him up with Simon Dan and a few other people, but no one seems to have bitten on it yet. No one shared it or whatever. So yeah, that would be a sit down with a drink and popcorn night to watch a bunch of people globe smack that shop. But I wonder who, there's no website, I wonder who runs it or anything. That's really got me going.
Yeah, and where is this store?
It's probably a spotty teenager.
My original thought instantly was bloody Dell.
No.
But he's too cocky, he would have said it and whatever. No one said anything. In the whole community, no one said anything about it. So I can get you the guy's name. If anyone uses it, I promised him his name would be get a shout out or a mention, some credits for it, because I reckon that's brilliant. I've never seen it, never heard of it. But I couldn't believe Colon had actually been there and never mentioned it himself.
So is this actually a shop, or
Yeah,
or
it's a shop.
just like a really?
Yeah, you can go on Google Street View and have a look around. It's number 2 Greig Street, Greig Street, Inverness, Scotland.
But is it like a does it say like flat Earth shop, or is it just like a head shop that
I haven't you seen it?
others?
Go into the in Discord. I've just put the picture up in live chat.
Mm.
So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the hell they'd sell, but find it.
Right, I'm
Oh,
just I'm just on my phone just now. So, but
yeah, it's just not in live chat. It's one step above our talk chat, whatever you want to call it. Voice chat.
I'll find him. Yeah. Christ.
And you know they'll say that post office post box out the front is probably them spying on us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Still no
yeah,
news
and
from
hi,
Dave
John.
Cannabis.
Don't think we've met before.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing you can tell where I'm from.
Northern Ireland.
Yeah. Just don't say New Zealand. I'll have to slap you.
Oh, I know. No. I know the difference actually. I go to Australia quite often. I've got family.
6 times a year.
But once a year. Not
No,
now.
six times.
Jesus.
6 times.
12,000 quid. £12,000 it costs to fly to Brisbane from
Jesus.
from Scotland.
What?
It's usually
£12,000.
£12,000. Yeah.
Fuck me. That's
Yeah.
that's
You're kidding me.
in Aussie money. That's $25,000, $26,000.
Yeah. It's usually 800 quid. 800.
Jesus.
There's so few flights, and I think I don't know. We're not going to manage to go for the foreseeable.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So
I was about to say you could probably get a cruise ship cheaper, but no, you don't want to do that.
what I was thinking of getting a boat, and
Yeah. You could buy a freaking boat.
Yeah, no joke.
You could almost
so
buy
anyway,
your own plane for that to make a few
yes,
trips.
so, but yeah, the Australian, I think they're almost kind of like, I'm not sure, but I think they're almost kind of like saying we're not going to accept any foreign nationals till
No,
2022
Australia's locked down pretty tight.
or something. That but you know, in their defence, in your defence, I think that's the right way to do it.
Oh,
Fuck
that's even the premier of our state actually locked our state down the hardest and the quickest. And everyone complained and yelled and screamed, but we've had like one of the lowest rates in the country.
Yeah.
And everyone's yelling and screaming about it, and it's like, well, she's done the right thing. Like, I haven't put a mask on yet.
Mm.
We
Well,
go around and we get the odd little outbreak and people wear masks. But as a general rule, most people down here aren't that phased because there might be a dozen cases at worst. At the moment, I think we have 6, and we're on a 3-day lockdown again in the Brisbane CBD.
I just want to say, and it's Brisbane that I'm talking about. I just want to say,
Yeah, I'm on the Gold Coast.
I'm not entirely sure that Blue wants his live thing going this way.
Oh no,
yeah, we should probably not continue this.
Oh,
But yeah, it's been very nice talking to you, and but we should probably get back to gravity.
oh, I lost control of this stream before it even started. So you guys are fine.
Is that like when you go into like your wife's home?
I've got a sneaking suspicion that that Blue has been sampling the Tennessee bourbon tonight.
A little bit, yeah.
Good man.
Hey, I'm allowed from time to time.
There's a little bit of the Scotsman, I think, in Blue. Little bit.
I thought Blue was straight.
Oh, wow. Shots fired. Shots fired. Oh, my God. Now I know I've lost control.
It's lemon season.
Actually, I'm drinking coffee right now.
Yeah, we believe you.
Irish coffee.
Boy, I wish.
Are you still live? Because I can't find it.
What's that?
Are we still live?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mine's saying not. Hang on.
Really?
Why am I can't get live chat. Kill it and start again.
No, it says we're live. Stream says it's in good condition.
Yeah, it might be because I've done the Discord thing. I'll jump back over. I'll reset it. That's why I wasn't too worried about what I was saying, because I thought it stopped. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It's come back up.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
We're good.
That's what I was saying about your density problem. Just use 4 fluoresce heads. You could use Oakley and Thompson as the big masses. They're about the densest. Well, maybe Sleepy. Oh God, you'd have the 100 balls, wouldn't you? All of the densest material on Earth.
Is that the independent variable?
You know, the sad thing is that as far as I know, one of the densest materials on Earth is the brain of a guy called Dave Cannabis.
Riley.
Dave Cannabis. But he's a bit shy. It'd be great if he could donate his left and right side of his brain to Blue's experiment, but he just doesn't want to speak up. It's a shame.
He's probably a bit nervous, like I was.
Well, I don't know if anyone is. I mean, I don't know if this person that Dave Cannabis is actually the Dave Cannabis, but if it is Dave Cannabis, his brain is extremely dense. You should look up this guy on YouTube after this stream. I shall say no more.
Dave just said in chat, Fleur's head might be very dense, but they are full of air. I keep saying they're a physical impossibility. It's the densest thing on the planet, yet it's a vacuum.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to roll a cigarette.
Want to have some fun and make this red dot go screaming all the way off the left side of the page? I can do that. All I got to do is go reverse those weights. Hey, Riley, you dipshit, watch this.
Gas go down, go boom, boom.
Go.
Yes. Thanks
it.
again, Bob. The amount of word salad that came out during all that with Bob was, I mean, we've all heard word salad from him, but the word salad that came out after that was amazing. Scrambling, trying to find something to come up with.
All right. Shit's gonna get crazy now.
Lol, Edison. That's good. Did you guys see the card that someone sent Pratt?
I missed it. So what now?
Someone in the community sent Daniel Pratt a card. You haven't seen that one?
No.
Flat Dirt has a one up that's scared around a little bit now, but I think he's got the best one. They sent him a card, and when he opens a card, it's got a pop-up penis and balls. almost pokes him in the face. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Like a macrame, one of those, sort of puffs up sort of thing. It's
Did he post it for everybody to see?
It's his glitter when it opens.
The chat is having fun out there.
Ah, ah, ah. Oh God. Yeah, you have to watch that one. It's the look on his face is priceless. Oh,
And
oh,
honestly, I leave you guys for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Jesus, fuck.
we've gone from the old cove to penises now. Pop ones.
Mm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
link it. Can I send a link in your chat, Blue?
Yeah, you should be able to.
It'll take me a couple of seconds to find it, but I'll go and do it.
So when did Daniel Pratt post this?
I'm unsure. I'm unsure.
I often wonder why.
I'm not even sure of his new channel. I think has he still got the reshaping or whatever it is?
I don't know. Hopefully he got a different garage, or at least got some casing around his door.
I'm looking. God, he's been putting out some videos. A couple a day at least.
On his new channel?
On reshaping our Earth, reshaping our world. Yeah, reshaping our world. He's had it for a while. He lost one.
Right.
O'Reilly, what do you think's making this thing move the opposite direction now? Anthony, your inability to replicate a simple experiment like this is not an issue I need to address. So much for your contention that my torsion balance is not stable. It sat there and did nothing for a friggin' hour. Look what happens when old Blue moves his balls around.
Blue's balls are legendary.
Oh, I found it.
And these aren't even the blue ones.
Apparently,
is there any salt in that? Is there any salt in the air over there, Blue? Or is there eggs? I don't see any eggs in the screen. I don't think that's valid.
You want some eggs and some salt?
Yeah, eggs and salt is what's up.
Who is this fucker?
It's Josie.
Hello,
Josie.
There you go. The link in chat, Blue.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that this guy, Dave Cannabis, is saying in the chat that he's got problems with his microphone or something. So he's apparently he's trying to join, but just can't get it together, which is a shame.
No luck.
Is this Flip Flop or is it Jose?
No, that's Jose.
No, this is Jose.
That's Jose.
All right, okay. Okay.
What you doing, Jose?
I just needed. All is good. I was browsing around. I see you had your thing going. I popped in to say hello.
Glad you made it, buddy. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. And I saw the Riley title, so I say there should be salt in the air. There should be eggs on the screen, and maybe cabbage. I don't know why, but I keep thinking of fucking cabbage.
That's because he's
Cap-
rotten.
Cabbage.
Cabbage. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
if you watch my last video addressing some crap that Riley was saying, and then Riley turned around and put out a video today, that's really the reason I'm doing this tonight. Hopefully he'll watch this stream and realize what a complete jackass he's made of himself here. Probably
I like
not,
the way
though.
he's
I
not
don't know
using
he's
a-
that damn smart, actually.
Well,
I like the way he's not using a torsion wire. He's negated the torsion.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Oh shit! The red dot fell off the screen. Uh-oh. Red dot fall down.
See
Go
the-
boom boom.
Red dot,
the,
yeah.
the problem is though that if he watches this stream in its entirety, he will learn nothing at all because he's a dick. So
You can't fix.
Sure. Edison just said Schrodinger's cat has a red dot now.
hey, I hope you don't mind, Blue. Just wanted to say to Jose, I'm not really sure what happened last night. If I was out of line, I'm sorry. And I think you had to do something to delete comments that a certain person made. And I hope all that got sorted out.
Oh yeah, everything is good. No worries, man. No worries, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all.
Yeah. I sometimes, I have to kind of clean house a little bit. So if I see a lot of harsh comments and stuff, I know it's funny and it shouldn't be taken out of context and seriously. But if somebody pop in and want to have kind of a different, more of a down to earth interaction, and they read a lot of profanities and hardcore stuff, the only way that I can delete those comments is for me to go one on one and delete it. But if you got comments in there, I say, yeah, there's only one way to kind of delete the 7 days history that you have or the last 24 hours. So I chose to do that with a few people that I was going really hard in the trolling. I said, let me just delete that, kind of clean it up a little bit, but everything's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I decide to time everybody out in the YouTube chat. Everybody's out of control. I say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna give it to everybody. Time out to you, everybody. And everybody like, what the fuck? I just got here. Hey, it is what it is, man. It's part of the fun.
I think I'm banned from your channel.
Really? What?
I came in and there was a bunch of flaws and they all started and I went back. I'm not one to hold my tongue. And I went back and
Yeah.
I think I got kicked.
Damn it. Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah, because I'm trying to keep it no profanities, no swearing words, no big F-bombs in the YouTube chat and shit like that.
That's fair enough. No, I got ganged up on a bit and I got my back up and probably went off a bit hard, but it would have been 8 or 9 months ago.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of people that participate in my channel, they go to other channels. It's kind of more fluid and easier for them to just type, and insult a lot. But my channel, I try to hold back into that sense. So it's more that same equal opportunity for all. Even though I'm not popular for that, but it's the only way that the opposite you can come in and participate without feeling disrespected and called retard by everybody,
respect for that too. Yeah, it was just I must have got on when there was just more fluffs on than anyone else, and I just got caned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Tomorrow, April the 1st, I'm thinking on doing something fun for my, how do you call April 1st day, April's Fool Day?
April Fools.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a-
I missed
April
out.
Fool. Hey,
It's
oh
already
my
April
God.
Fool's here,
Okay.
and it's after lunchtime now. Bugger.
Yeah, tomorrow I might go back to be a flat earther tomorrow. Thanks. April's Fool. And I'm gonna bring
I
an
need a good
arsenal with me.
prank. Does
I'll bring
anybody have
an
a good
arsenal.
prank?
Sorry, good.
I moved the camera around and pointed it over there
We got
at the
the dot now.
target. Yeah, the laser dot was. You see me pointing at it right there. Laser dot was down around 120 or so on the scale.
It's climbing.
It'll be coming back up shortly. It is. There it is.
Yeah, it's climbing. Pretty fast.
Blue, you were a teacher. Do you have any good pranks anybody play on you on April Fools?
Hmm?
I was saying, if you, as a teacher, did you have anybody?
Oh,
What's the best prank anybody or you did on April Fools?
I'm not a teacher.
Oh, I thought you used to be.
Yeah.
Well, you should be.
Well,
I taught people how to fly airplanes, but that's not a good place to
Oh,
play
no.
April Fool's jokes.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Fuck the engine off, mid takeoff. No, it doesn't work.
who is the teacher? Is you gonna be in front of students? You receive a phone call, and you'll be like, "No, I'm sorry, I gotta hang up because I got the class with me." Like, no, I really have to. No, I am in class, and like maybe do a short call, like, "All right, call me later. I'll call you later." Maybe 5 minutes after, have somebody to call you or dial yourself. Do it like 3 times, and they go like, "No," like have a kind of a hard argument with somebody. Keep it PG-13 for your students, but do something fun. They're gonna be like, "Holy shit," they're like jealously or something like that. I don't know, something fun for them, and then tell them.
We had a guy next door in a cabinetry shop who was an apprentice, and he got his apprentice papers come through a few days before April Fools. So all the boys grabbed him, covered him in honey, and threw him in the sawdust bin.
Oh.
Excuse me, Blue. Can you hit that table, that apparatus, so you can move faster? Thank you.
like I said to somebody, Jose, watching this thing is equivalent to watching paint dry at a cricket match.
But right now it's hauling ass. It's moving fast now, for real.
Yeah, cricket's like that. One day cricket, I don't mind, but I'm not a cricket fan. But Test cricket must be the most boring thing. Yeah, Trevor, it was one of those big industrial, the big tilt top industrial bins, so it was full, like about 2/3 full of sawdust. By the time he climbed out, it was hilarious.
All right, gentlemen, my due is done over here. I came in, I say hi, participated. Thank you, Blue, for doing your thing, man. Continue, you're doing great, brother. And thank you, guys. Good talking to you all.
Hey, thanks for showing
Bye,
up.
Jose.
Yeah, thanks for showing up,
If you
Jose.
can unblock me, that'd be appreciated.
Yeah, hey, what, you got the same name on YouTube, General Ishady?
Yeah, generally shady, yeah.
That's weird. Popping, have you attempted type something in YouTube lately or not? Try popping in my channel whenever I go live tomorrow and type something and see if it's on or not.
Oh, and
Yes.
I don't have a role anymore.
I got
God
you. I
damn
got you on my Discord, Beyond. I'll fix that up, bro. All right, good night, guys. Thanks.
Good night, mate.
Take care, Jose. See you tomorrow.
Maybe if you put some salt on those lead balls, the density would increase.
Yeah, this crazy thing. I'll turn around and go back the other way now in a minute. I didn't keep track of the time, but it's good.
Someone did put a tag in there, in chat.
Yeah, let's see.
Looking. Forget who it was. It was. I can't see it. That's brilliant, Dave. Yeah, Rob. Yeah, 10:04. Rob said.
10:04.
I think that was correct. Yeah, from what I remember.
$10:04. So 10:27. It's hard to figure out when you do what I did. I did about the worst thing you could do. I let the thing go to maximum deflection, and then switched the position. And you get some really extreme oscillations when you do this. So it'll take a period of many, many, many hours for this thing to ever stabilize after that kind of treatment. But it demonstrates the effect that mass has on other mass.
Perfectly.
Now, pay attention, Riley, you nitwit. If this thing goes back up to, let's say, 260, it went down to 110, and we just take the arithmetic average. For you, Riley, that means adding the two numbers together and dividing by 2. The center point would be around 185. But that's not going to be a good true indication of of where the center point of this oscillation is. It's really quite a bit lower than that. I forced it into an extreme oscillation by doing what I did.
Yeah, they just said Bob said he's been a pilot for many years. He did it earlier on Brandon's channel. He has been, but not what he said he was.
Who, no deal?
Tossing paper planes doesn't count, Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob got a private license, VFR only type, in 1970 something or the other. I don't remember exactly. I've looked him up before.
Yeah. But the way he described it, originally he was all this and all that. Certainly wasn't.
Until Wolfie called him out. He was telling everybody he was a commercial pilot.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Closest he got to that was finding $1 on the runway before he took off.
yeah, he's never held a commercial rating.
No, VFR, what visual flight?
Yeah,
No.
he's VFR pilot, just a private.
Yeah.
His rating
Yeah.
was as a private, and that's it. Nothing else. There's no other. He doesn't have anything to go along with it. So.
It was only single engine or something too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's single engine. Yeah, private single engine.
No.
I can fly a plane.
Sure, you can.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
You got flight sim?
Yeah, a few. I actually had to pretty much land the plane when I was really young. I was like 12 or something. My flight instructor had an angina attack, and he wasn't unconscious.
Yeah, not viable.
But he was kind of like talking me through what to do, and it wasn't great. It wasn't the best introduction to flying that you could imagine. But after that,
was it?
now I'm kind of like I can fucking do anything. Yeah, put me in the fucking seat.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was really old. That was an experience, I can tell you.
There was one a while back where that happened to the pilot and student, and he didn't make it. The student landed, but the guy had a heart attack, and by the time they got to the plane, he was gone. Yeah, what a terrible thing to do.
Well, this guy, he was grounded after that. That was it.
Yeah.
As I say, when he absolutely, it wasn't like he was passed out and I landed the plane by myself. Absolutely not. But he was impaired. You know, so. But I did exactly what he told me to do, and it was fine.
Sorry, did you see what Hads just wrote in chat?
What was that? No, I'm not watching the chat.
My
What did you
girlfriend
say?
has a cute angina.
Yeah. I bet it's not old and crusty, though.
Uh, you know, I fly RC planes and choppers and different things, but it's a little bit different when you're sitting in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it's a lot.
beautiful thing.
It's a lot different when your life depends on it.
Oh no, Hads again. She also has a bright red Volvo. God.
Oh my goodness me.
Heads, behave yourself out there.
Well done. I'll tip my hat to that one.
Yeah.
Well done. Oh. If you can top that, no, don't.
Hey, I came back really quick to tell you. I posted in the live chat over here on Discord the link with a timestamp. So I don't know if he pasted the timestamp, but it's 1 minute 15 seconds when he stated like, "I've been a pilot for over 40 years," and he was overtalked and he was re-asked like, "What? What did you say, a pilot?" And he repeated very clearly, and he talked a little bit about it. So I don't know, an interesting listen at your own time, man.
Yeah. Oh, Jose, did you see in Discord? Go up to the what is it above? I posted a picture for you, or for everyone. I posted a picture just above the voice
Above,
chat.
okay, yeah. You know, the flat Earth. What is it? What is this? Is it a store?
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
hell?
yes,
What?
mate.
Shit.
That's in Inverness in Scotland.
Yeah,
Fantastic!
I think
Wow.
I think we should make the most of this.
You know, Doug.
I could. I mean, it's what it's. I don't know. A couple of hours north of me. Uh, but yeah, I think
Like I said, if
something.
we can get a few boys around there and globe smash, hand out flyers out the front and scream water curves and faces real, and that on video would just be hurling, absolute legendary.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few people in Scotland in the community, so
Yeah. We could
I
drum
really
up
gotta
some
go.
enthusiasm.
well, we might have to organise that. I think that would be absolutely legendary.
Yeah. Probably actually have to introduce some ground rules so it didn't get out of hand. Actually.
Yeah. Well, we need some fake cops. Then when they're standing there screaming from across the road, they can come and get arrested.
Oh.
Fake arrested.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about stopping the farmers from dumping tons of manure. Like,
Stopping them, paying them.
no, they do it.
yeah, I was paying it. The guy with the spreader went past the bank. That was brilliant. You seen that one on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah,
That's legendary. Brilliant.
yeah. Mm, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of scope there. Right. Honestly, guys, I'm going to have a cigarette and actually get into the bath that I ran about 3 hours ago.
Might need a top up.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Yeah, this time the bottom of the oscillation looks like it's going to be down around 125, something like that. It was 110 the last time, or even less, maybe. So
Just off screen.
it'll cut itself down quickly
Mm.
over the next hour or so. But then the process slows down tremendously.
Oh yeah. It starts acting like a first brain cells.
It's just a simple damped oscillation.
There it is. Back on screen again. Oh, really? Thank you, Donna. Have a look at that. Oh, is it the one of the newspapers? It's one of the newspapers. Yeah, I saw it in there as well when I was trying to find out more about the shop. I spent probably half an hour trying to find anything about it and couldn't. At one point, I actually went to Google Street View and looked at the hairdressing salon next door and thought maybe if I ring them directly and ask, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Actually, has their address. Could actually send them a card like Daniel got. I could send them a snow globe of Sydney that actually put a this way up sign on it so it's upside down. How long does it take to actually balance out from there, do you reckon, Blue?
Oh, to get it to go back to just being stationary like we started?
Yeah. Yeah.
A good day.
Only a day?
Yeah,
That's not too bad, really,
yeah, about
considering.
that. But the time is so it's so extensive. That's the reason why we don't do that. We average the do an averaging deal with the oscillations to predict where the resting point would be.
Mm. Like you said, when it's swinging across the scale so widely, it's fairly fast, but to settle right down, geez.
Oh yeah. I took it from the maximum point of deflection on the right-hand side when I moved the ball to the opposite position. So it swung all the way to its maximum on the other side. And when we averaged that a minute ago, if you remember, we got about 185 would be the apparent middle. Think about it, that's where we started, 185.
Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense. That's what it should be. The peak from one side to the peak on the other side would be 185. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
But now the deflection is offset. It's now offset to the other side. So this time, instead of climbing up to 260 or whatever it was at that last time, it won't go that high. It won't go anywhere near that high. And
I was
each
thinking
time,
about the right-hand side of the green circle there somewhere.
yeah, it's going to be. And the more it does that, the further the resting point will appear to move to the left.
Hmm. Definitely an awesome setup, mate.
Oh, it works exactly like it's supposed to. And listening to some dipshit like Anthony Riley criticize it just infuriates me.
Sorry, I missed that one. What is he again?
Dipshit.
Yeah, I dropped out again. Sorry.
Oh, let me try to rephrase. Let me
What's
let me
that?
let me try to rephrase that. Asshole.
That's it.
There we go.
I think what he said was a dipshit asshole.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I do have a favourite saying, but I've got to be careful on live chat saying it. You can call someone a female genitalia, but that's just saying they're warm, wet, willing, and useful. What you do is call them a broken ankle because they're 3 feet lower than female genitalia, painful and absolutely useless.
Well, in Scotland, the way that we talk, I hope you don't mind this, Blue, but you've got cunts. You've got cunts and then you've got cunts. And there is a difference.
In
assume
Australia, it's all about the pause.
I assume you're going to explain the difference. Or maybe not.
Hey, Blue and guys, thank you very much. Blue, thank you very much for inviting me to Discord. I got to run, but nice to meet you guys. Nice chat. Thank you very much.
Oh, you betcha.
Hey.
You betcha. Anytime.
Take care. In Australia, if you use the C word, that's what you call your best friends. hey, C's. But if you put a pause in there, hey, C, then they're not your friend. So it works both ways.
It's a
We use
similar.
the worst possible degradatory comment, and they're your best mates. The worse the comment is, the closer you are. If you call someone your mate, hey mate, they're not your mate. They're the arsehole.
It's very similar in Scotland. It's that's what it's like. The more horrible people are to you, it's kind of it's almost like it's a
The
test.
more affectionate, no,
Well, if you walk into a new place and people are just horrible to you, then it's kind of like a is he gonna manage to get through this and actually come up with something that witty or something.
So I've bounced pubs and clubs since I was 17. I wasn't even legal age when I was front doorman for a nightclub. It was just before my 18th birthday. And I gave it up for a long time. I went back to it a couple of years back. But I used to use that broken ankle saying a lot to people because they'd call me the C word for going to toss them out or whatever. And I'd bring up that comment, and most of the time they'd just stand there and smile and have a laugh. If you do it correctly, they just stand there and have a laugh because there's really no comeback for that saying. They get the giggles. And then just tap them on the shoulder, come on mate, you got to go, And they're quite happy to do it because you've just shut them down. Then there's the other type that start taking a swing at you straight away, but that's okay. But yes, term of endearment, Dave, exactly.
Yeah, but in Scotland, that word it really does have so many meanings. It can be used with absolute venom, but also used casually, to refer to a friend.
Oh,
It's strange.
Well, yeah, over here, you walk into a party or a group of your mates, and that's the first word you use, and give someone a hug. Like I said, the worse you can make it, the more affectionate it is.
Yeah, there's
True Aussies don't actually, if you're going to have an argument or a blue with someone, you don't actually, anyone who talks too much, you've won already. Old school Aussies, you don't talk. You say a couple of words, you don't like the words, and you throw a punch. That's it. It's the younger ones now, it's all yap, 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 yap. And that, yeah. No point talking. My dad always taught me that. Rest his soul. He always taught me that. There's no point talking. They're either going to apologise or be nice to you or whatever, or agree to disagree. But if they keep yapping, just one straight in the middle of the face and they stop talking.
I've always been a big fan of the temple myself.
Oh, yeah. I got 11.5 inch hand span. I got big hands, so it's normally one big open hand. And hearing that slap usually gets all their mates going, ooh, and then they laugh because you just bitch slap them. Try not to, but it happens.
Yeah. I tell you what has happened is I've I've sat here and been part of Big Blue's Cavendish stream, and now I am completely and utterly shit-faced. I am fucked up.
What are you doing?
Oh man. I was sitting in the garage, and I had
It's called a man cave. Doesn't matter what's in there. It's a man cave.
yeah, well, it's a temporary man cave. But my God, man, I've gone through the whole fucking lot. There's no beers left. Fucking hell. So,
Well, you have to come over here. I've got 2 bottles of bourbon and a couple of other things.
oh man, it was supposed to be a quiet night. I was almost going to go to my bed. I think, oh, Blue's got a stream going. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Fucking hell. Anyway.
It is slowing down a lot, isn't it? It's near, what's that, about 50 minutes now. It's slowed down a hell of a lot. No, then again, that's deceiving. You look at it and you think, oh yeah, it's not moving, and then you look at it again. We'll have to come back tomorrow and see what's happened. Oh, Rob Parks. Used to teach in the physics lab. Rob, where are you? I'm sure by the time this ends, Blue wants this thing out of his garage as quick as possible. He'll be sick of it. Actually, no, we should all chip in and send it to Riley. Have you seen the other? There's someone out there. I've only watched a couple of them. But there's someone out there doing a gyro experiment. Have you seen that one? I think the flirsts are actually doing it, but someone's done their own, and they've done magnetic shielding, done this, done that, and all kinds on this gyro. If Anthony couldn't do it, you never will. Oh, QE, geez. QE is a wannabe Oakley, almost. He was saying in one of the debates about, I think it was QE, when the people were stowing away in the planes, in the undercarriage of planes, the refugees or something, and he said they survived, and it wasn't the lack of oxygen as you got higher, it was a lack of pressure. And
What?
no stinking idea. Moderator.
Those people make ignorance look like sheer brilliance.
Oh, he tried to cite that you could be on the top of Everest, but it was only the cold and the lack of pressure, not the lack of oxygen. And
Did QE do that?
sheer stupidity. Sorry?
Was it QE that did it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I forget. It could have been McToon, MC Toon, or Modern Day. I think it was Toon, because there was a few people there. But he flat out stated that you can survive at higher altitude. I can't quite remember, but his argument was just pathetic. Oh, there's people that have survived. Yeah, but what about all the ones that have died and top of Mount Everest and no, it's just lack of pressure, not lack of oxygen. And different stupid stuff. Spot on, Mark. Yeah, they always argue, if you haven't done it yourself, then it's no proof. And then they pull up videos and photos and everything of other people doing things. The hypocritical side to it is just ridiculous. Good night, Dave.
Yeah, Dave. Good night. You take care.
Yeah, exactly, Donna. And there's bodies that have been there for 20 years or 30 years that they find eventually when the snow drifts move or whatever. Was it one of the climbers they hadn't seen? He disappeared on the mountain, and they found him like 25 or 30 years later when a snowbank broke away, or an avalanche or a cap dropped off and exposed his body. But yeah, no, that was just because of the air pressure. Nothing to do with oxygen or anything else. I cannot believe that they do this, what they call it, the density equilibrium, disequilibrium, whatever. They still can't figure out that weight is caused by something. What causes weight? Downity. And then call anything we do, anything the Glovers do, pseudoscience. Wow.
Let's see. I think I may put this thing back in the neutral position just to see how much it's drifted.
Um, they did, Mark, but it was some. I can't quite. You know how they use their words and explanations, word salad. I can't think of why they had tanks. It was something along the lines of they weren't as healthy as the climbers from Everest, like the what do they call them, the pursers or the porters, the Himalayan porters or whatever. There's something along the lines of they're more healthy because they've lived there and I don't know. How could you ever know?
Yeah, Rob.
Oh,
Yeah, Sleeping Warrior hammers that time and time again that gravity is not a force. Einstein superseded Newton, yada. All that bullshit. Well,
who asked him? Who asked him the other day? He said density was a force.
yeah, how do you get a force out of density?
And yes, Sherpas, thank you guys. Yeah, how do you get a force out of density?
How do you get a force out of a damn... Jesus. It gets even worse. How do you get a force... For sure, how do you get a force out of relative density?
it's as good as saying volume is a force.
A dimensionless number is somehow a force. What?
Yeah. But we do pseudoscience, they do real science, actual science.
Right.
Oh. You know, Flat Earth Aussie Roscoe, Aussie Jesus,
Yeah.
he only lives probably an hour and a half from me. Or a couple hours now, he's just moved. I've been trying to get in touch with him to have a talk for ages. And he's always avoided it. And the other day, I actually got him, and we sat on the phone for about an hour. Because I've always said, Roscoe is actually a nice guy. He is in the head, a little, but he's actually a fairly nice guy. And we sat on the phone the other day and had a full-on hour-long chat. And he is a nice guy. But when he comes up with these weird and wonderful explanations, so I said I'm going to go down and go camping down there, stay down overnight, and have a few drinks with him and whatnot. And we were talking about the celestial pole rotation. And I said, I'm going to try and get a camera where I can do a time lapse, because he doesn't think the South Celestial Pole is real. He thinks it's faked. So I said, if I can bring a camera down there and actually show you the South Celestial Pole via a time lapse, you know, if it's only a few hours, it's not going to be a full rotation, but you'll still get the idea. He said, yeah. And I said, well, will you take that into consideration then? Oh, if you show me, I will. And I do believe him. I don't know what his explanation will be, but so yeah, my mum's having a lot of problems at the moment. It's not good. But once everything clears for a couple of days or something, I'm going to go down and visit him. They just had massive floods down there as well. Huge floods in Australia. So once everything calms down, I'm going to go down and visit him and, yeah, have a chat. But he's a genuinely nice guy, just wacky. But yeah, it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. But I've got from my security days, my bouncing days, I've got some miniature body-worn cameras. So we won't mention that again, but that will be on while I'm talking to him. And I won't run him into the ground with it, but if he does come up with something, yeehaw, I'll definitely have the footage. But it should be, I'm actually looking forward to it. It should be good. He lives down Byron Bay Way here, which is the most easterly point of Australia. So I think I'm going to take my laser level and a spirit level down with a tube on it and do the horizon spy level thing with him.
Yeah.
Just to ram that home in front of him as well, because that's always one of their favourites. But I've got a $500 builder's 3-way laser level. So I thought I might take that down and take some sticks down even and stick them in the beach and do the horizon check. Because this thing will project a beam at night, probably about 150 meters or more, 200 meters. Might even be able to do a detection of curvature on the horizon with that, I think, on the beach. Won't be much, might be difficult, but I'll give it a go.
And when you get this thing oscillating, like we had it, and you start moving those weights at just random periods, random points in the oscillation period, you can get some wild deflections, just like we're seeing here.
Yes, way off.
But pay attention, Anthony. I've not touched that cabinet. I've not touched the torsion balance or anything. You've been watching it the whole time. And we went from perfectly stationary to this kind of wild, what I consider wild movement of the torsion balance, just simply by manipulating these large weights. There's nothing else that will explain this other than that word you hate so much, gravity.
It's just funny how the only reason they deny it is pure dishonesty. Pure dishonesty. Because it kills their whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it wasn't so important, they wouldn't fight it. But there'd be no need to.
Well, it's the importance of it, and it's been well thought out by the likes of Nathan Oakley and so forth. The criticality of the whole thing is that with gravity is a real force in the world we live in. That's what it acts like. That's what holds our atmosphere. We don't need a dome, and outer space is real, and all that stuff we see in the sky is real. That's what makes it so critical to them.
Yeah.
To me, the reason, the absolute reason why flat earthers want to deny gravity is because gravity absolutely precludes abolishes the very existence of a flat earth. You cannot have a flat plane with gravity because gravity will conform the surface that you live on into a sphere. So
even if it was a flat disk with gravity, if you were standing in the middle, you'd be standing up. If you're standing on the North Pole, you'd be standing up straight. But if you're standing in Australia, you'd be on a 45-degree angle.
But I mean,
leaning away from the North Pole because the gravity would be the strongest in the centre.
Well, it's what we see in the rest of the solar system. Planets. Um,
denying space is terrible. That's
but yeah, but it's I think I think that's the number one, the absolute basis of the problem that they have with gravity is that gravity will conform uh,
yeah.
the place that you live on into a spherical shape. So
Yeah, put a
so
blob
they
of
have
water in
to
space.
so they have to deny gravity, not because of any kind of um, problem or fault uh, with our
Oh,
understanding of gravity.
back in a minute.
It, it's just because uh, it blows flat Earth out of the water. That's all. That's it. I just had a cold bath.
Yeah, hello, Mark. In the chat. Yeah, I have given up on this thing. It drifts way too much to be useful to make any sort of meaningful measurement of the gravitational constant. But seeing as how Anthony Riley decided to make an issue out of this, I thought, while I've got this thing sitting here and being fairly stable, it's it's not nearly stable enough to be usable for real measurements, but more than stable enough to prove that Anthony is full of shit. I decided just to do this tonight, a little quick live stream, and prove to the sleeping warrior exactly how screwed up he is. So that's the only reason I'm running this. This wire is going to go away in the next day or so. Probably take it out of there tomorrow sometime. I'm going to put a piece of guitar string in place of it because that is stable. That's what I was using on the other torsion balance. And Mark again is wanting to know if I was trying to find a stronger, lighter wire. No, really, what I was doing was trying to get back to see if there was any way to uh, duplicate more closely what Cavendish did. And Cavendish said he used a copper wire. He claimed it was a silvered copper wire, and I'm sure it was. The problem is that the copper he would have gotten in those days wouldn't have been very pure. It was an alloy of some sort, unbeknownst to him, or maybe it was known to him, but he never mentioned what sort of alloy it was. Maybe it had tin in it or whatever, but certainly not the 99.9% pure copper that we see today, which has been electrically purified. Uh, and today's copper just simply does not have sufficient yield strength to be able to support the weight of the torsion balance unless you make the diameter of it so large that the torsion balance becomes virtually unusable. The yield strength of pure copper compared to, say, this beryllium copper alloy is only about 20% of the or so. On the other hand, and yeah, more or less the same for like steel. But the modulus of rigidity is 50%. So as you increase the size of the damn thing, you're making it really rigid just to get it to have the yield strength it needs. I guess at the end of the day, bottom line to all this is, um, I don't think I can. I don't think I can ever figure out, or I don't know how to figure out exactly what Cavendish really did use. So is that bad? Nah, not really. Would have been fun to be able to say, yeah, we got the same wire that Cavendish had, but there's no way to. It's not documented, uh, and I don't have any way. I don't know of any way to find out exactly what he would have used. Rob Clark says, Sleeping Warrior humble. He told me last week he had done what Newton and Einstein couldn't. Right. Oh my. That speaks volumes for Sleeping Warrior, doesn't it? Yeah, Mark. It may be uh, better documented in some private correspondence. I don't know. He gave a weight. Obviously, that was way long before wire gauge and stuff like that was useful or had been uh, given to say an easy way to specify the size of a wire. What he did was he gave the weight of the wire in grains per linear foot. Grains being one of those oddball units of measure. I'm accustomed to it because we used it all the time in air pollution control business. 1 grain is 1/7,000th of a pound. So I could take that. Uh, the weight information he gave, and I could figure out what the gauge today, what an American wire gauge number would be, and it actually worked out to be about 30 gauge. So I thought, that's easy. I'll just get some 30 gauge copper wire and that'll work. Well, no, it won't. You have to go down to like 26 gauge to get enough yield strength so that you can pick the torsion balance up. And when you increase the diameter by that much, the thing becomes essentially useless. It's so stiff you can't get enough deflection to be able to make any sort of accurate measurements.
And something I was going to ask: how long is the torsion wire?
This is about 6/10 of a meter. Let's see, 27 inches is
600 mil. No, 27 inches. No, that's a bit longer.
680, 685,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Because that was the other thing I was going to ask. When you do like you're adjusting your torsion tension, you can adjust the length of the wire, or does that alter anything else?
Well, yeah, that would have been that would have been a solution for using the copper wire, the pure copper wire.
Yeah.
It would have been to make the wire, make it longer. But I don't have that ability because I don't have the head height. I'm committed to the length of wire that I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's linear. The longer you make it, it will, the easier it is to twist it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's originally my first profession was a suspension specialist, torsion bars and different things, and we actually were working with King Springs, which are pretty much world famous now. They're only local then. We were making spline bars, spline torsion bars, but we'd make one end of the spline about a foot long, so you could actually push the adjuster forward and adjust the spring rate on the torsion rod.
Yeah, right.
On the torsion bar.
Sure. That's the way it works.
If you can't, if you adjust the coil spring, you've got to change the spring.
Right.
But on the torsion bar, you could just push the adjuster further forward towards the pivot point, and you've got an adjustable spring rate. And do the same in the racing anti-roll bars, sway bars. You have a great night too, Donna.
Yeah, Donna, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Well, this thing is going to just continue to oscillate back and forth and do its thing, and it's coming up on 11:30. We've had this stream going now for, 3.5 hours. So I think I'm about to pack it in too. I think we've done what we set out to do.
I'm gonna go and find John on Discord and organise this globe smacking over the flat Earth shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Big thanks to everybody that came, everybody that's left out in the chat. You guys are terrific. Thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it. So
you're a good man, Blue. We like you're real. That's the whole thing. People that are real are worthwhile listening to.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me end the stream. We'll still be going in Discord, so just hang with me for a second. You guys take care. Catch you again shortly when we get the other torsion wire in here and up and running. Good night, everybody.
Take care,
Good
Peanut
comedy
Gallery.
shortly.